Hello! Welcome to English Language Arts at Kings Peak High School, and I am Mr. C. D. Varn. You're going to get to know me today, and I'm going to get out of the way. Become real little for you here. All right, our objectives today. Who am I? What is my philosophy of education? And what is the philosophy of this course? And this is creative writing, so it should be interesting for you. Hi, I'm Mr. Varn, and you can see me with hair, as opposed to me without hair. Meta. I've taught English as well as social studies, composition, humanities, ethics, film, and creative writing for 14 years. I'm originally from Georgia, taught public school there as well as community college. However, I've been a professor at a university in Korea, taught at international baccalaureate and advanced placement programs in Korea, Mexico, and Egypt, in addition to teaching here in Utah for the last 5 years. I am a published author, primarily a poet, and I have been publishing and working in publishing as a second job for 15 years as both a poet and an editor of creative nonfiction and poetry. So I know what I'm talking about. I also have a Master's of Fine Arts, which is a terminal degree in creative writing. Some places that I've taught, you can see the building there, what looks like a swastika is actually a temple in South Korea. You can see the pyramids and you can see Mexico. And I have taught in all those places. As a teacher, I understand that I will have to help you sometimes, and I have empathy with your struggles. I am dyslexic and aphasic, even though I'm a writer. This didn't stop me from getting a master's degree in writing, from teaching university, or from traveling the world, but I need help and needed help. I am an avid reader as well, but until I was in college, it was not easy for me to read. I actually learned a bunch of tricks to help over time while I was in university. And not because anyone taught me so much as I had to. Um, Despite having taught for a long time, I had a career before being a teacher or a professor. I've been a few different things, and I'm older than I look, even in this video. I want you to realize that I know that most of you aren't going to be English majors, and your love of literature needs to be mixed with your practical realities. However, this is a creative writing course, so I'm hoping that you do want to actually write creatively. We're going to talk about what that means in another presentation. All right. I'm old. We didn't have Google when I was in school. All right. My educational philosophy, or why Genghis Khan is one of my idols. This class works a lot like an army, particularly because it's a creative writing class. It must be disciplined and worked as a team. We are going to critique each other's work. We have to be kind. So you can see the top there. We have to be efficient, but we have to do it. And I'm going to guide you in how to do that. I'm going to guide you in your battle with language. You'll become better speakers, writers, and thinkers by the end of this course, but you need to follow my instructions. But as your leader, I know you're not robots. You have agency. You have to be convinced. Like the Golden Horde, you are free. You have choice over how you follow my instructions, and you have to best apply the lessons for the role you choose for yourself. And this is why Genghis Khan is so important. You see, this was his army. His army was made up of people that were so poor that they often wore mouse pelts. And they were not used to being told what to do. And the great Khan got them all together to work under him. And they took over the world. Now, I don't want you to take over the world. I just want you to be a good writer. But it's the same kind of thing. You all come from different backgrounds and you all have a lot of choices, and I know that. My other philosophy. Oh, I got to get out of the way again. Why Mr. Rogers is my idol. And this is a strange thing. before I was a teacher, I was a professor. But before I was a professor, my mother was a prison nurse, and I worked briefly as a guard. My interaction with prisoners, most of them wanted opportunities that they lost, particularly to be educated, but what they most wanted was respect. And if you gave it to them, they would give it back to you 90% of the time. And the person I would model for that is Mr. Rogers. You know, to be kind and patient and treat everyone as a human being deserving of respect just because they exist, right? It's not something that they um, have to prove. It's something that they can lose, but not something that you get my respect for being human. You keep my respect by earning it. All right, my favorite authors, and I'm in the way. We're back to Genghis Khan. Um, so this is to give you. You probably haven't heard of these people, but this is to give you a sense of who I really like. The poets Ezra Pound and Alice Fulton. The Southern writer William Faulkner, the absurdist writer George Saunders, who's still writing, the science fiction author Philip K. Dick, the literary science fiction authors Gene Wolfe and Neil Gaiman, the poet Ben Ramke. I love Shakespeare. I love the rapper Aesop Rock, not Aesop Rocky. Those are actually different people. I love the science fiction author Octavia Butler, the novelist Vladimir Nabokov, and the novelist Richard Wright. And lastly, this is a creative writing class. That's why I went through my favorite authors. And you could tell that I like a bunch of different kinds of writing. We're a competency-based program in this class that is aimed at teaching you to transfer skills, develop your own interest, and learn how to apply English to areas of your life that you don't often think about applying it. Creative writing is about writing in new and interesting ways. And we're going to start with poetry, partly because it's short, but it's the most complicated, and it makes you do things you're not used to thinking about doing. Then we're going to go through prose in general. That's this quarter. Next quarter, we're going to go through short stories in a variety of genres, and you're going to write your own. And you're going to make a lot of decisions about what you're writing. I'm going to give you more forms and kinds and genres than you know what to do with, but I'm also going to let you pick the ones that you feel like you want to work with as you write. We're going to do the writing process and a lot of other stuff, and it is skills that you can transfer, and we'll talk about what you can do these for in our weekly meetings. All right, you're going to make your own presentation to introduce you to me, and I'm going to see you soon. Have a great week.